This computer. Okay, so thanks for hopping on today, guys. I am here with Sam Morrison Wilson, capital Sam Morrison Wilson, who is
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
who is the author of a book called Retention Made Simple, which funny enough, I bought on October 23rd, 2025, and then I randomly met Sam through a school group like 2 months later and didn't even or a month later, didn't even realize I had your book, Sam.
Yeah, I know. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you got connected through Will in school,
Yeah.
and I got connected to Will through somebody else on school. And so it's just the way the nature of relationships happen. And so
Yeah.
that's really pretty cool. So everybody, so the Sam, all caps, we'll just get that out of the way.
Yep.
It's very funny, sort of. But my dad named me something. My mom and dad named me a name that they've never called me so that they could, my initials are Sam, S-A. So my legal name is Stephanie Ann Morrison, Sam, right? But they've never called me Stephanie at all. And so people ask me every day practically, is it short for Samantha? No, but thanks for asking, right? And
Yeah.
so it's always in caps just because of that.
Good to know. Yeah, I have a Sam Hill who's my son. We gave him the what in a Sam Hill middle name, so I like the name. All right.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, well, so what had happened, how we got connected, that was very interesting, because I play in this retention space is what I do. And a lot of people know what I do. I had probably two or three people message me saying, you need to check out thanks.io. You have to see it. And so I had already looked at it a little bit. And then Will messaged me on school. I'm like, hey, I just got connected to this guy, Ryan, and you probably need to talk to him. And I'm like, okay, like it just needs to happen. And so I went in and I played with it a little bit. And then you and I got on a call, and it was just like, okay, yeah, that we're talking the same language, right? And you and everybody, you're the only person I met at Thanks, but so far, it feels like you're totally in the same wheelhouse of helping businesses get clients, but then because of how you continue to connect with them, then you're able to keep them longer, right? That
Yeah.
retention piece is critical and nobody teaches it. It's like, and I'm actually working on a new book that's going to have 30 different, what I call sticky note ideas. They're little retention hacks that are small enough to fit on a sticky note, and then I expand on it in a chapter. And one of the things I talk about is that the dopamine hit comes when you get the new lead or you get
Yeah.
the new deal, right? And then there's a cartoon from I don't even know how long ago, but about the little character. And I meant to look it up before we got on here so I could quote it properly. Where he's like, I'm gonna love him and squeeze him and hold him and make him my very own, and I'm gonna call him George. Right?
Yeah.
That's what we do with our clients. We get a client, like the funnel, top of funnel, middle of funnel, the little guy, the client pops out at the bottom of the funnel, and we're like, we're gonna love him. And like people think about love bombing in relationships, we do it with our clients as well, right? And then we get another client and another client. And by the time we get to client number six or number seven, client number one and two haven't heard from us in forever. And there's just, that's not a sustainable way to grow a business. You cannot outmarket bad retention because
Yeah.
you will be in this loop of never ending door revolving, going through um, client after client, and nobody's going to stay. Right. And so figuring out what the retention process is for your industry, for your company, if you're not doing that hand in hand with marketing, I think people are missing the boat.
Yeah, it's
And
so easy to
so,
forget to do too. We're called thanks and we're a retention company. We forget. Even reading your book, I was like, man, I am a slacker here. We do the bare minimum because it's we're always on the hamster wheel. I wake up in the morning, I run new
yeah,
Facebook ads and new Google ads or make a new video
the
to
one
try to
with the
get.
roach got me. The
Yeah,
one with
yeah.
the roach on the, I showed
Because
my
that's the
husband
fun
that
stuff
last night.
is generating new leads. But really, personally, and I think a lot of people would agree, if I just kind of opened up my CRM and called five people, it'd probably be worth more of my
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. Or even No, no, so it's not yes, and it doesn't have to be one or the other. Continue doing what you're doing to bring in new faces, new relationships. But once you get them off of the social media platform or in your world, then you start to just drip on them in a different kind of way. And man, having a client that actually looks forward to getting a phone call from you or to get an email from you instead of thinking, oh, it's time to give them more money. Like I have to pay a bill, right? Um, I did get your letter in the mail and the
Yeah, yeah.
postcards in the other room. And I really I mean, it's really well done, and it made me want to open it. I know that one of the ways that I plan on using this for Retention Made Simple, our company, I'm going to have three lead gen sources that we're focusing on for 2026. One is I'm launching a podcast on January 7th, and each week I'll be interviewing different people, different industries, talking about their retention, things, what works, what doesn't work. They may have a retention question. So that's going to be one thing. And the second thing is I host a weekly workshop where we're going to talk about the sticky note idea. Whatever the sticky note is for the week, we're going to talk about it and that kind of thing. But the third thing is I've actually created a local directory here where we live, and I'm going to be connecting with local business owners to help them get more exposure because I see if somebody's already getting good Google reviews, that means they know how to get clients. And if we can connect with them based on that, then I can move them over to the retention piece of, oh, you're getting good reviews. Let me show you how to keep those clients longer.
Yeah.
And so, what I'm planning on doing is when someone opts in to claim their free directory listing, then I'm going to have one of the windowed letters go to them saying, hey, thanks for opting in, claiming your listing. You know, Monty and Sam Wilson, we're in the local community. We live in Williamson County too. We would love to schedule a time just to pop by or to make it human, right? And so I'm going to actively be using thanks.io to be able to get them. They're going to open it. It's going to be a business letter, right? It's going to be professional.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited that I met you at this time because it's a perfect match for what we're doing.
So yeah, that's great. Well, so what I did read a lot of the book. What would you say when you get a new client is the biggest, let's just say the easiest, quickest win they can get with some kind of a retention tactic? What's the one thing you have them do right
Yeah.
away? But,
Onboarding is everything. How
okay.
you onboard a client. And even if you have something that's a $10 service versus $1,000 a month service, you can have an onboarding process. It's just going to be different for everybody. Um, if you don't set expectations with your clients, they're going to set them for you and you're not going to know what they are. So on an onboarding email or video or connection call, you know, talk about the scope of the work or what's going to happen or all those kinds of things. But how you onboard someone is really, really important. Um, and it's a place to gather the information. If you want to be able to use a platform like Thanks, you have to have the information, right? So whether you use a form to get their address and their information, or you're talking to them and they tell you, or you use an opt-in kind of thing, you have to gather the appropriate information. Because if you don't, you're not going to be able to implement any kind of retention system. So
Okay.
that data you get with the onboarding is critical.
So we have a lot of real estate insurance. I know we have some real estate insurance watching
Yeah.
now. So basically, right when you first have the first call and they're becoming a client, follow up
Yep.
with like a Google form or something. Or
Google for it could be in, it depends. I would say if you're already on the phone with them, instead of giving them something else to do, just
yeah.
ask them the information and fill in the form that'll key to your system to trigger everything, right?
Yeah.
To where you're not then giving them something to do. One of my favorite things to do is when you're talking to a new client, if you already have them on the phone or Zoom and you ask them a question about their family or their husband's name, their spouse, their kids, or if they have dogs or whatever, and then later you use that information and they're going to be like, oh, he remembered that. Like
Yeah.
he was paying attention, right? And so gather and with AI, with all these recordings and transcripts, you could have it pull a summary and say, pull all the important information from this call about my client, about what I said I would do, any personal information, and then add it in a note into your CRM or your database, however you're managing things, right? Because just I watch a ton of podcasts on YouTube, and I was watching one last night, and it was so relevant that for the last 20 years, video has been everything for marketing because people can see you and they know you, and it builds, credibility on so many levels. But we're about to go into a really big issue around video because nobody's going to know if it's true or not.
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah.
going to know if it's real. Is it a deep fake? Is it AI Sam? I'm working on AI Sam. All right. And so they're not going to know it's true. But if you're actually doing something so that when you send them the video or you send them the note, that they know it was you because it was something personal like that, it's
Yeah.
just going to add all kinds of credibility.
Yeah, one big one is even just birthdays, because we can automatically send birthdays. And yeah, reading your book, I messaged my partners and I said, why aren't we collecting birthdays when people sign up? It's just like the basic get to know you kind of
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
birthday or just,
Yeah.
yeah, a
And
few
so even in
details.
my in I have a women's community that I run too. That's my passion project. And I have a community for them on school as well called Safe Heart Connections. And part of my onboarding process with them, even in a free community, they don't pay me anything. They can, there's things that they can opt in for, but a lot of the women have been there for years and they'll never give me a penny, and I'm okay with that. But part of the thing is I would love to celebrate your birthday. And
Yeah,
so I get them to fill out a form where I gather their birthday. And then what they're not expecting, though, they're expecting maybe a birthday thing, but then I have a card that goes out that says, hey, welcome to Safe Heart Connections. Hang this up where you can see it. And so they get something that they weren't expecting. And every time I get a message from them, that was so cool. Thank you so much. And it doesn't take a lot. What I say, it doesn't have to be hard. It has to be intentional.
yeah,
It doesn't have to take a ton of tech, time, or money. That's the name on the
yeah, yeah.
book, right? It says c- client loyalty
Yep.
without a ton of tech, time, or money. And there are smart ways to use tech, something like Thanks, to add it in, but you still have to make it personal. And so you can automate a ton of it. And the way that with the cards that you can have the AI generate the thing, like on this one, speaking of local happenings on Saturday,
Yeah.
November 29th, right? Right, to where you can actually make that happen. And so it makes total sense for what you're trying to do. And for the reason we're having this conversation, it's like a no-brainer because it really does make sense for us to be working together on some level.
Yeah. So for everybody
Yeah.
watching, definitely try to collect some data, data that you care about and would follow up on. Maybe it's even their favorite sports team or something,
Yes.
whatever
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
would, you know,
Yeah. Well, we
and
do
then,
that. So on my onboarding form for my admin company, which is part of Retention Made Simple, is part of that. We ask for their favorite local restaurant. We ask for their favorite local charity.
hmm,
We ask for their sports team, especially in Texas, because if they're not a Cowboys fan and you're going to do something as a client gift and you're thinking everybody loves the Cowboys, no, they don't. Right? And we
don't
have
send me
clients all over
I'm a
the,
Giants fan. Don't
right?
send me a Cowboy. Don't send me.
Yeah, I know, right? And
No.
so knowing, and as you gather information about your clients, continue to update the information for them. One of my favorite stories about this is how one of my favorite clients. He's actually my first paying client from my admin company since 2019. And he has helped me in this regard so much because I love to give things. And I always do. Like on my admin company birthday, I send a gift to my clients because without my clients, I don't have anything. And one year, I sent, it was our third birthday, and I sent three little bags of popcorn with a note saying, thank you for being part of our success and all that. And he wrote me, he's like, just so you know, his wife's Kayla, and she's one of my best friends. And he's like, Kayla hates popcorn. Like she calls
Yeah.
it Satan's candy. And she hates it. And I wouldn't have known that. And so he wasn't cranky that I sent it. But now I know if I'm doing something around popcorn, it's not going to Dale and Kayla. I'll do something different,
Yeah.
right? And so knowing who your clients are, knowing what they'll use, just sending something that's not going to be received well, like you have to know who your people are,
Yeah.
right? And what they want and what matters.
How,
So
if you're going high touch like that, what's the breaking point in terms of the number of people you can do that for? Do you recommend sticking it to like 50 or like a magic
I
150?
think so I would say look at your client list and I
Yeah.
would do the 80-20 rule because 20% of your
Yeah.
business, like 80% of your business is coming from the 20% of the people probably, or do your top 20% of your clients. And what I personally do, and because even though my admin company, we have about 30 clients and that's not a lot, but when they're paying you monthly for years at a time, it, the relationships are way deeper than if I'd had, 200 clients. But even with just 30, I do different things based on who they are, how much they pay me. So a client that pays me $400 a month is not going to get the same thing as someone that pays me $2,000 a month,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And so I look at those and I have tiers based on where they're at, how long they've been with me. Coach Dale, who's been with me since the very beginning, he gets something different, right? And here's the other thing, don't just do Christmas. If you're just doing Christmas,
It gets lost in the mix, I imagine, too.
it gets, yeah, 100% gets lost in the mix. And what I personally teach, and in the book, I tell the story, but I teach Thanksgiving cards instead of Christmas cards. Number one, not everybody celebrates Christmas, and they may not, even if they do, they may not celebrate Christmas the same way you are. So your message may land in a way you don't expect or want it to, but everybody can receive gratitude, just a sheer thank you. And my grandmother, I found out just a few months ago that my grandmother owned a company in the 1970s. She didn't work there, she owned it in the 70s. What a cool lady, right? And she actually, it was called client retention. No, client relations. I always get it wrong. Client relations. And she taught the same thing. And she worked with insurance agents as they got a new policy. And over the course of 3 or 4 years, they would get 17 handwritten cards for birthdays, holidays. And it was like all of her, I have a booklet showing everything she
Do
did,
you
the
have all the
handwriting.
creatives?
Yeah, I have everything. Hang on, I'll show you.
You should load
My,
those up
my,
into you should load those up into thanks. We have a lot of insurance agents who would probably use that
look,
creative.
so this was my grandmother's
Yeah,
binder.
it's
And
awesome.
it's dated 1975. And she has her little, like her SOPs, and then her little card where they filled out all the information for their clients. And I just got this a couple of months ago. I didn't know this. And so in here on the cards, like she had the card, and that's her handwriting. And but whenever I was looking at this, I almost started crying when I saw it because let me see if I can find
She's
it.
doing the same business you are.
No shit, right? Sorry.
Yeah,
I don't know if I can say that here,
yeah, you
but
can. Yeah.
Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. She literally says, Thanksgivings are
Oh wow.
great, doesn't share with annual Christmas cards for attention and accepted by everyone.
It's awesome.
So
Yeah.
I didn't
Crazy.
just learn this, like it's part of who I am.
Yeah. So
It's part of who I am.
So yeah, if you have, I love the 80/20 thing. We have a lot as a software company, and it's hard to, you
Yep.
want to make everybody feel appreciated. But if I went and sent a couple thousand gifts out,
Yeah,
well, and
no,
I couldn't do it in a genuine way. But yeah,
right, 100%.
if you pick the top even 5% or whatever of
And
your,
so, but what could you do for everybody? Could
well,
you do a video? You're really good on video. I
yeah,
mean, and so just even if it's not a custom video for everybody, just to do a video and then send an email or a message to them and however the easiest way to connect with and say,
yeah,
you know what? Thanks has grown over the last few years, due in part to people like you. And I just had to take a minute to just say thank you. I wish I could get on the phone and talk to each of you individually, but I mean, there's thousands of you.
yeah,
However, if you watch this and you need help or you want
yeah,
support, call me, message me. Let's get connected, right? And so, because for some people, insurance agents, one of my clients is a farmer's agent, and he has hundreds and hundreds, if not
yeah,
thousands, of clients as well. And so, what we've started doing for him is every time every week, once a week, we go in and look to see who has written a new policy, confirm if they've already been a client or not. And based on that, we actually send them a handwritten card. Somebody on my team is actually not using a system. This is actually a handwritten card and mailing those out immediately. And then they get a birthday drip, a card for the birthday. And so, there's a way to do it. You just have to, a lot of business owners, when I hear that they're so busy because they're doing all the things, like my insurance guy is a prime example. He can't keep his head above water. He owns the agency. He's dealing with hiring and firing and all the stuff that has to go on in an insurance agency. And so for him to manage this himself, it never got done. So
yeah,
you'll need help. You'll
yeah,
need help. It can be internal, it could be somebody like us, it could be partnering with you, right? Because I know you offer support of when somebody comes in and they get their account set up, that you can help do some of that automation piece for them to help them, right?
yeah.
But if you don't have a plan, it's not going to happen. So
So
the first step is deciding in 2026. I am going to build on my retention process, and these are the things that I'm going to do. And actually, it's starting today, 12 days of Christmas retention style.
oh,
And
okay.
in my school community, I'm going to be posting. There'll be 12 different things, and there's a free workbook. If you're in the community, you get the free workbook, and to where you go through these 12 things, and everybody will have at least a base of what they're going to do, right? And then maybe it's not you, like James is on here, and Mike, Linda, Rich, like maybe y'all are the owners of the thing, of the company, and you need to get an admin involved. Send the file to them. You say, this is what we're going to do. Now help me implement it.
Yeah.
If we
Yeah.
try and do it all by ourselves, it's not going to work.
I'll definitely get, you can plug, what's the school called? Because I think a few of the people here would definitely plug into that.
So it's retention made simple is the school. If they go and look, I had it called something else and it won't let you change the URL.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and it was the gratitude blueprint because that's what I wanted it to be. But I did market research and testing, and everybody was confused by the gratitude blueprint because they didn't know what it meant.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what retention made simple means.
Cool.
So,
So guys,
retention
that's
made simple.
school.com, SKOOL. And we have our paper clickers in there too. Some of you guys might not know that, but we have a school group as well. Um,
Yeah.
so
And so you can put the link wherever we send this out, just put the school
I
link. And
will.
if somebody sees this after the holidays and they join, just tell them to send me, we'll just say, send me a message saying you want the 12 days of Christmas retention style workbook and I'll get it to them. I'm
Yeah.
not charging anything for that. So I just thought it'd be kind of fun retention style.
But if we just picked like your really busy insurance guy or me even if you only picked, I'm just thinking about this, even if I only just took an hour and picked 10 people.
Yeah, and if it's an
Like
insurance agent, for sure,
yeah,
what I would suggest is not even your top client. I would say your top referral partners.
okay. Yeah.
If you're an insurance agent or a realtor, you have people that are referring you business without no question. If they've sent you business in the last year, you need to be doing something for them
Yeah, that's a good
because
point.
that's, I mean, mercy, because my insurance agent, he works with a lot of loan officers. And so, and we actually did a really cool thing, sent some tea for Thanksgiving with a nice note from him to his top loan officers that provide consistent referrals for him, right? If somebody's referring you business and you aren't saying thank you, this is going to sound wrong, but you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Right? If somebody gives you business like here and you
You
don't say thank you,
you make me feel bad
my
because we
grandmama would
we
have slapped you.
we have a legit affiliate program, so you just gave me a good tip because just the people who have sent us referrals, they're right there sending us business. So I will implement that.
Right? Just,
Yeah.
yeah, just something super easy.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to do if you're doing B2B, and you find somebody that has a Google business page, and most business owners do, um, once you've done enough work with them for a while and you have a little bit of a character reference, like you know them, this isn't something you would do day one, but leave them a Google review. And then what I typically do, depending on the size of the business, is I will screenshot that review and I would send it and say, "Hey Ryan, I just left. Thanks this Google review. Wanted to make sure you saw it because you may not be the one, you're my contact, but you may not be the one managing the Google and you might not ever see it."
All right. This one I'm doing. This one we're doing because yes, we are going to go leave a bunch of reviews. If anybody watching needs a review on their Google page, let me know. But I
Because
really
that's
like that.
social proof for them and it's huge.
I've had
There's not much
people,
else bigger.
I've had a few people randomly leave me LinkedIn endorsements, and
Yeah.
I don't know who they were, but that stuff works. They got my attention. Like,
Right.
thank
So
you,
do it on
thank you.
LinkedIn too. If
Yeah,
they're actively growing their LinkedIn, yes. Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, these are things that literally cost $0. You just have to be intentional.
and just
And you
be
have to come up
thinking.
with what you're gonna do.
I need a. I'm gonna. I like hypnosis, so usually before bed, I'm trying to trick myself into like some NLP weirdness. My wife's
Oh
like looking
yeah.
at me,
I
doing
just
some
got
weird things.
NLP certified.
Okay,
I
cool. We
just
can
got
talk about
NLP
that.
certified.
Anyway, I'm gonna trick myself. Every time I go to run a new Facebook ad, I'm gonna go into the CRM instead and leave a review for somebody.
Or do
This
both.
is or both, but this is so much. I think a lot of people, when you get to a certain critical mass with your business and some of the people on, you've been in business 10 years, 20 years, you've already got a bunch
Yep.
of clients. You probably don't need to generate new leads. If you really think about it.
Leads are not the problem.
Yeah.
Leads are not the problem. They're just not. And when I look at the businesses, yeah, leads are not the problem. Especially if you've been in business for a while. There was a woman on Facebook yesterday that was in a group for women owners over 50, which I am, and so I'm in the group. And she was saying she just started working for an insurance agent out of Florida, and that the lady has a lot of repeat business. She's established really well, but she's not on social media and she's trying to figure out new ways to get business in. And so I mentioned the Google business profile. Make sure your Google business profile is up and running, but also um, the going in and saying thank you just because. And she was like, I don't know that she's ever done any type of gratitude or anything like that. And I'm like, nobody thinks about it because nobody's teaching it. They're
Yeah.
saying Continue to post on social media a million times a day. Be seen, be louder so you can be seen, but that's not what's going to keep your business strong long term. And I'll just tell you, I can create social media like nobody else. Like I am legit a content creation queen, and we do a ton of it for my clients, for my admin company, but it exhausts me and I don't want to do it anymore. And so I don't want to be the loudest one on social media. I want
And
to
you,
be very strategic. I want to be able to say, and I actually have a plan written out on this door. My Q1 is already planned out. On Mondays, I'm going live to say, hey, this is a sticky note we're going to talk about on the workshop later this week, and this is our guest for the podcast this week.
that's it. Yeah. Yeah,
And my
that's
people
all you
will
need.
come
One
to
post a
me.
week, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll do the post and then I'll be going live on YouTube and LinkedIn for the podcast and then the workshop. And so my people will come, they'll find me that way because they're going to see me live on LinkedIn and YouTube 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Live, not all this stuff like,
So
and
it's more
I'm good at
leverage. It's more
creating it.
leverage social media, and then it frees you up to actually service your existing clients and stay in touch with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm not contributing to the noise.
Yeah.
There's so much noise out there, and we don't know what to look at or to listen to, or there's a million ways to grow your business, right? And there's more and more and more. But for most people that have been in business for a while, they know how to grow their business, right? They wouldn't still be in business otherwise. Um, but we get so caught up in all the things that we think we should do that we forget to do the things that have worked for years. 1975.
Yeah.
I didn't make this up. This is just what works. And when
Yeah.
you do a really good job and you show appropriate appreciation, I don't see that there's a way your business can fail.
Yeah. And I think like a growth marketer a lot and what the ROI on your time or money invested in. It's way better with the retention stuff. Even though the shiny object is to go run
Yep.
another ad,
Yeah,
I
well,
know for
let's talk numbers really quick.
yeah.
Let's just talk numbers. And I'm going to do a number. I do this example a lot because I don't do math in my head really well. And so just imagine you have somebody paying you $500 a month for your service, and you get them to come in and become a client, and they stay for 3 months. You just made $1,500, not after expenses and all, but $15 in revenue,
Mhm.
$1,500 in revenue. What if you sent a couple of check-in messages and how are you doing, like getting some feedback, showing some appreciation that may cost you, I teach 1 to 3% of your budget. So is that 15 to $45? And they actually stayed 9 months instead. That's 40. So you just made three more grand on a
Yeah.
client that like you
Not
didn't
to
do any
mention
extra work. You didn't do like really anything extra. You're keeping them.
not to
Um,
mention the referrals
Probably.
the extra referrals you get.
Yes, yes. I see a question coming in. Let me look and see what they said. But so
Yeah.
the extra 40, I mean, it's 4,500 bucks now. Let's see. When you, yes, yes, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. So when you are using the retention strategies at any point, or how would you do an education piece to help the clients refer you? Yep. All right. So yes. So one of the things that I love that question, Rich. One of the things that I teach is that whenever you give your clients, hang on, when you make your clients' experience so good that they just have to tell people about it, then you're going to get referrals without even having to ask. So you don't have to be salesy. That said, when on most of the stuff that I send out on the back of it, in really small print, I just put, we love referrals. We love referrals because we
Just to
do,
remind them that it's an option.
that it's
But
an option, right? And so periodically, once or twice a year, I'll send out an email saying, hey, we're on the grow again. we're looking for a particular type of company to onboard or what we're doing to help, and say, if you know anybody, we would love to give them the same kind of excellent service that we've been able to give you. If you know anybody, just let us know. And because you've done a good job and you've shown appropriate appreciation, they will share their people with you. Because what happens is if you have a bad experience with somebody or they treated you like a number, you signed up for XYZ and then you never heard back, or you didn't get what they promised, they're not going to refer you, no matter how you ask. So if you feel like there's a proper way for them to connect you, to say, what I've trained my people is what they do is they send an email connection. And then with the company's information, it's where I can see the company. And then I do a little bit of research and I'll write them back and say, hey, Ryan, Dale connected us. I looked at your website. Totally think it's something we can help you with. If you're interested, just schedule a time on my calendar and let's talk. And so over the last 6.5 years, that's what I've taught my people to do. And it's not been something I did on purpose, like an education thing, saying this is just the way to do it. It's just what's evolved over time. So I don't know if that answered your question, Rich, or if there's something else, I'd be happy to expand if needed. But making it easy for your people to refer you is really important. It's also really important to make it easy for your clients to stay. If For most of your people, if you're in insurance, like they have renewals, making sure that with our my insurance agency client, he has a renewal email that goes out.
Yeah.
And they've edited that over the last year or so. Instead of it saying, hey, your policy is coming due and it's going up because the world sucks right now and everything's costing more, whatever. And so he's made it more of a personal feeling video to them, even though they're not personal. It's just a one-off that he's recorded and then shows them the information and then just a little button to say schedule a call. If you have questions, I want to talk to you, and make it really easy for them to click to schedule. And making it easy for them to do that, it's going to build in the opportunity for referrals because they know it's going to be easy to connect with you, that you're going to answer the phone, you're going to do the thing that you said you're going to do. And yeah, when you get to the place where you're getting referrals without asking for them, you're
That's how you
onto
know you're doing
something.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yep. That's
Cool.
my best opinion anyway.
So, how are you generally keeping track of all this stuff? Just a CRM, like what for your clients?
Yeah, so I have a spreadsheet, and it actually works really well. And we do this for our clients too. So it's just a master client spreadsheet based on the people we're showing appreciation to. And I personally teach a 100-day onboarding process. So over the course of the 100 days, they get 5 things. This is for somebody that's a long-term client that's paying you monthly or quarterly or whatever. We would set this up differently based on the situation. But the 5 touch points for onboarding are really important, even if you don't do them all. And I'll tell you why. Number one is how you onboard, get that information that you need so that you can show appreciation and set expectations. Number two is I suggest doing about a week later, just a check-in. And it's one of the sticky note ideas. It's the 7-day check-in, right? Super
Like the
simple.
waiter and the waitress who see if the food was
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, yeah.
just popping in to see, is there anything we can do? Like, do you have access to everything? Is everything okay? Then around day 30 or 45, I actually send a feedback request. After 30 days, especially if they've been working, depending on the project, they're going to know how it's going, but make it really easy for them to respond. And the reason I say to do this at 30 to 45 days is because from a very early point in the relationship, I want them to know I want their feedback. If something's broken or something's not working, The only way we can address it is if we know about it.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, I talk to a business owner, we're implementing the process. It's onboarding, appreciation, and asking for feedback. Those are the three key things. And they don't want to ask for feedback. And I'm like, if you don't want to ask for feedback, you know
You're doing
why,
something
because you know
wrong.
it sucks. You know
Yeah.
it sucks, right? And so if your intent is to build a business where you people stay longer and give you referrals, you have to fix it. And if somebody gives you feedback, good or bad, you have to respond. You just
Yeah.
have to. And so then at day 75-ish,
I'm stealing all this. I'm
I
writing it all
send,
down.
yeah, I
I think
think
it's
it's
in
in
your
the
book,
book
right?
too.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so if day 75, I send them something small in the mail, and it could be um, I have a whole list of things. And so it's usually not that much, $10, $15, something drop shipped from Amazon. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything big. It could be from thanks, it could be a gift
Gift
card
card.
kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? Yep. And then day 90, I send them a link to schedule a call with me on Zoom and saying, I want to have a Zoom call with you to where we can talk about what's been working, what's not been working, what we need to expand on, or what we need to stop doing. Because the only way a long-term relationship is going to work is if you're adjusting as you go. Imagine, you're dating someone and you never check in, and then like it's just not going to work. And Coach Dale, mentioned him a couple of times. He's going to be my first podcast guest on January 7th. And we talked about this, why so many people don't want to invest in long-term business relationships. Like why do they want the one off and to get that dopamine hit, they get the money, but they don't have to continue the relationship for long-term partnerships. And it's relationship. The relationship that I have with Coach Dale after 6.5 years of working with him and seeing him almost every week and multiple times for different things is very different than a relationship that if I had somebody that just paid me $1,000 to do something and then they never saw me again,
Yeah.
right? The reason he sends me referrals all the time is because he knows me, he trusts me. I mean, and it's just a thing. And so right now we're in a world where it feels like we just don't want to have the relationships. But you know what? The world is so much better when we're together.
Yeah.
I mean, it just
Especially,
is.
especially since we're all sitting around behind these computers all day, not even getting out of the
I
house.
know, I know. And so that's the 100-day onboarding. And then the next thing I teach is I roll them into what's called a quarterly touch program. And so on this spreadsheet, it has the touches and it shows when we did them, what we did. So if I did something different for Ryan than I did Linda or whoever, that I can document that. So it's really easy. And yes, I know it's a spreadsheet and we put the information in the CRM as well, but the spreadsheet is the living, breathing document that just works. You don't have to have a ton of tech. If you don't have a CRM, it doesn't matter. You can use a Google Sheet,
Yeah.
right? And so then the quarterly touches. And so I know in January, because I don't, only a few of our clients get Christmas gifts. We do the Thanksgiving, I do select group for Thanksgiving or for Christmas. And then in January, I'm actually sending them all. I'll just tell you, I'm just pretty excited. Um, that I'm sending them, the power banks that for charging your phone and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to there's one on Amazon that I really like. It's really good. It's not going to be branded to my name. It's not going to be branded to
That
them.
doesn't really matter. No.
No, because every time they use it, they're going to know I sent it to
Yeah, yeah.
them. And there's going to have a card with it that's going to say, here's to staying connected all year long. I'm so thankful for you. And here's the thing is that when you give them something, even if it doesn't have your name on it or their name on it, they're going to remember you. It's not this coffee cup, but one of my clients gave me a coffee cup that has a ninja on it and has some funny little quote on it. It doesn't have her name on it, but every time I see it, I think of her,
Yeah.
right? And so I
And
know
that's
that's what's
a
happening in Q1. Q2 is our birthday. April's our birthday, so they'll get something then, right? And so you just plan, I have the whole thing planned out for all of 2026, but I can promise you that my clients, when they receive it, they're not going to feel like it was planned,
Yeah. So even
right?
if you just took 30 people, we have a lot of realtors. Just take your
Yep.
30 best closing experiences you've had over the years and just do this 90-day
And
plan
your
with them.
referral partners.
Yeah, and your referral partners. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
This I will
Yep. So
implement.
that's
Thank you.
it.
Yes. We
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
Okay, well
Yeah.
we're up on 47 minutes. Thank you to everybody who came. Everybody who came, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I think the book is really good. You know what was weird? The book is only like $5 or something. But it's
Yeah.
and usually I buy a lot of the Kindle Unlimited like cheap books on Amazon. And usually they're very thin. Your book is very dense
Thank
with
you.
actionable ideas. So I was like, I have to like go back and actually read
Yeah.
it and like take notes. So guys, definitely get the book. This is in there, right? The 90-day thing, but you have a bunch of other tactics
Yeah.
in there. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It,
there's a bunch of
it,
other stuff.
it,
And
it,
um if you go, I believe I have it in here. It's on the new version. On when you get the book, there'll be a QR code where you can scan if you prefer to listen. I do have it on Audible now, and it's me reading it. But if you buy the book, there's a QR code, and it'll take you to an audio file where you can just listen to it. Instead, I listen to everything, and so I try and make my stuff listener friendly. And yep, so you'll be able to access that for free if you get the Kindle version.
yeah. But I'm definitely gonna implement a 90-day, we have a certain people who reach a certain threshold with us at Thanks. We just watch it, we
Hmm.
track it with Thanks, with our
Yep.
CRM. So,
So I would
and
say
it,
just pick one thing. If you're listening or watching, just pick one thing. And maybe that one thing is to hop into school today and start the 12 Days of Christmas Retention Edition, retention style. Get that workbook because like literally, there's things that you can do that you can set up now and be set for 2026. It'll help you design the offer, the system, what you're going to do, and yep. And then just decide what you're going to do and then do it. Because here's the thing, I know if it ends up on my calendar, I do it. So add in the time for your retention stuff on your calendar. Because if you put it there and you have integrity with yourself, you'll do it, right? And I believe most business owners have integrity. Otherwise, they wouldn't still be in business, right? So have integrity with your calendar and just block the time and get it done. Well, it
okay.
looks like Linda, did you unmute for a question?
Linda sends birthday cards very
Okay.
consistently.
Okay.
I can't get in there. Can you? Oh, hello?
Hi, Linda.
Hello.
Yeah, I just ordered the book.
Oh, thank you.
It's,
Thank you.
now you
Do
said
you,
something, I got on late because it said 1 o'clock, but that was Eastern time. So I went back and looked at it. The school you were talking about, what is that?
oh, well, I'll put the link in the chat here. Hang on one
Yeah.
second.
Okay,
School
I'm
with
not
Let me
sure.
grab
I'm
it.
looking at it on my phone, so I'm not sure um, that I can see it. But Ryan, you can
Okay.
send it to me.
Yeah, the school group.
Yeah.
School's this do you know the school platform? It's like it's kind of like Facebook groups, but
Oh,
just LinkedIn.
SKOOL.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. Somewhere or another, I got that. I
Yeah.
just don't know. I'm an old lady, so But all of these things, and I'm sending it to my son too. He's in a pretty um, lucrative business, and I've sent the book to him too. So
Oh, thank you,
anyway, and I'm
Linda.
going to send him this um,
So
podcast or
my
whatever. Yeah.
my email address is super easy. It's sam@retentionmadesimple.com. If you can't figure out how to get on school or whatever, just send me an email and I'll send you that workbook for the 12 days. It has the lessons. and the things to implement. So if getting in school is a problem and you're watching this, just send me an email. The community is good because I post other things. I do something that's called $0 ideas. Every week I share a different $0 idea. And in the community, I allow you to promote yourself on Wednesdays. So if you have something going on, um, it's called Promote Anything Wednesday. And so you can literally promote anything. And so it's a way to grow your connections and that kind of thing. And there's always some fun stuff going on. Yep.
I just I went on Google to find you, and
Okay.
I don't know where else, but anyway, I pushed to follow you, and I'm not sure how I'm following you, but um, Ryan just sent me the school link. But the community is
Okay.
where?
On school.
That's
Oh, on
where,
school.
yeah,
Okay, all right.
Yep. On school. Yep. Very good.
Thank you
And
so
Ryan,
much.
I really appreciate you having me. Thank you, Linda.
yeah,
I really appreciate you having me because, and I think you see now why I don't have a presentation, right?
yeah,
It's
no,
just better to go with the flow, and um,
yeah.
at least for me, it is. And I hope everybody that listens or watch got some value. And if you
Well,
have questions, even if you're not sure what you want to do, usually I do like a paid call to do a deep dive to plan out the thing. Well, in an hour, I could have your retention system set up for you where we go through this process, and that's a paid thing. But if you're not sure you even want to do that, just email me at sam@retentionmadesimple.com and I'll hop on a 20-minute call just to answer questions. I mean, I truly believe that if I show up in the world the way I was designed to, which is as a gratitude and retention expert, which I didn't really know until recently, then the world's going to be a better place because I'm showing up the way I'm supposed to. And if I can help somebody else on that journey that's wanting to be able to do the same thing, whether or not I make a penny from them or not, God's going to provide what I need. And it's just the way it works. So,
very cool. Yeah, and Sam's also in our school group as well, but I'm definitely gonna have more people go jump in there, Sam. The
yeah,
90-day thing to
thank you.
me, I just wrote down all the bullets on my card here.
Okay, good.
But that alone, you should just be beating that. That's a really good lead magnet, and if everybody just takes those 5 bullet points and implements, I'm sure this will have been
Yep.
worth your time. Um,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Even if they just do the onboarding, if you do the onboarding properly, everything else can fall into place.
yeah. Yeah, we're gonna add birthdays to when people sign up for thanks because like, why are we not sending birthday cards? It's just sometimes the most obvious things you don't do. Um,
Yeah, that's okay. All
well,
right. Well, I'm happy to connect if you want to do another thing later
yeah,
in a few months or something. If the people are interested, we could come in and so I do have on Fridays at noon starting in January, I'll be doing a sticky note training and it'll be different trainings every week and a live demo. And whether or not you join a program that I offer or not, those trainings will be free. Come every week and just learn and or send somebody on your team to learn for you. I'm a really big believer in who, not how. You don't have to know how to do everything. You need to get it done. And for most business owners, we're busy trying to do the things that somebody else should be doing or could be doing to free up our time to do the things that matter. So if it's not you that needs to learn how to do this, get the right person on your team to learn how to do it.
good point. All right, we'll talk
Yep.
soon, and
All
I'll
right.
get you
Thank
the
you, Ryan.
replay.
Thank you, everybody.
All
All
Thank
right.
you
right,
so
Thank
much.
you.
yeah, see you, Linda.
Thank
Bye.
you.